The Montgomery Brawl, fade in the water.
Fade in the water.
Ancestral mania. So let's talk about it.
Ancestral mania.
Okay, so I can't play like all of the fighting stuff. So I have to cut it up a lot. But let's just walk through it because
step by step.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely a process.
I want to ask y'all about it afterwards because I think this will be
punch by punch.
Be a little bit interesting. So let's try it. All right, so I had to cut all the audio out so we're just gonna talk through. All right, so step one. Let's go back. All right. So it starts off here. So if you don't know anything about this, this is the Montgomery docks. There was the Harriet II ferry was trying to dock. There was a pontoon boat in the way. Mm-hmm. The security guard, or I don't know exactly what he was, but he told him to move several times, over and over again. Yeah. And they wouldn't move it. And all of a sudden, while he's talking to one gentleman, another one just comes and bum rushes him. So that's the part you're seeing right here. And then your boy throws his hat in the air.
Bat signal.
The bat signal. So that kind of is what kind of got it going. They jump him like really bad. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'll do this. I'm going to save this for later because I want to hear what you guys think about it first, and I'll explain the whole thing to everybody, and we'll go play by play. So when you first heard about this, so essentially just in case you don't know anything about it, I'll play the video in a second. They jump him. Later on, the ferry finally docks. Mm-hmm. Guys jump off. They confront them, the white guys that beat him up, and they start beating them up, right? And there's a whole brawl, and there's chairs involved and all that kind of stuff, right? So so far, we know of 5 people that have been issued warrants.
It's 5.
Five. 5 people have been issued warrants. 3 of the white gentlemen that started it, and 1 of the white women, and then the guy with the chair.
The chairman.
And so far, that's all we know. So that caused a ruckus. I want to talk about why you think this got so much attention, and what were your initial thoughts of the brawl?
You want to start with me or Jeremiah?
I want you to go.
You know how this go. I don't know why. Anytime we talk about something controversial, you scared.
We're supposed to be starting with the fitness pastor. It's really the first chair and down.
Don't be scared. You know how this go.
What do you think?
That's my
man?
boy, so I'm not going to throw him under the bus like that.
You know how this go.
All right, so it took me a while to see it, right? Then it took me a while to actually see it and gain the significance of what was happening in that video.
Yeah.
It's 2023.
Yeah.
And according to what most people would say, this is the first time that you've really seen a retaliation of some sorts like this, right?
Okay.
It just so happens that in Montgomery, there is the Legacy Museum as well as the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. Mm-hmm. I've been to this museum.
Okay.
I've been to the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. In that memorial, there are over 5,000 recorded lynchings. Okay,
Wow.
I went to that museum and I spent a total of maybe 4 or 5 hours just in awe of what happened. The stories. There's passages that tell you why they were lynched. Right, little boy's ball rolls down an alley where a white woman is doing her laundry and he's lynched. 7 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the stories that really stuck with me. This also happens to be the exact same riverfront location where slaves were sold.
Yeah.
There's so much history behind what happened in this city.
Even more than that, right? So,
Yeah.
like you said, the port. It says the port made Montgomery one of the busiest slave trading centers in the nation. Montgomery also was the backdrop for several pivotal battles in the civil rights movement. The Harriet ship was used to transport slaves as well. The Harriet II. And now they use it for sightseeing and stuff like that. So there's a lot.
It's a lot of history
going on
there.
right there.
So you know, we're talking about seeing something that was egregious to see, where you see a man getting jumped by so many different people that could have led to him being stomped out, him dying. And I was listening to a spoken word earlier this week where they were basically saying, like, had Trayvon Martin had an intervention group, had Sandra Bland had an intervention group, Emmett Till, Mike Brown, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
Imagine if these guys had, these men and women had intervention groups like this, could they still be alive? And that's what I landed on with my emotions when I saw this happen.
So you were kind of like, you with it.
I'm at the point where I'm like, they saved a life that day.
Okay.
They saved a life.
Everybody involved.
Now, you know what? I will say this. Everybody had their own emotions that they took at that moment.
I love how
it was
Ryan
almost
watches
like
MSNBC because you use the same
No,
formula.
I have not
you
watched
used the history, and it was like,
No.
justification.
I promise you, I have actually not seen not one single news clip.
No, I'm just talking about how you set this up. It's beautiful.
No.
Because now it's like, if I'm listening to this, I'm like, dang, that happened all there back in the day? I understand that situation now. You did good. You did very good.
Okay, so I might get Marlon Wayans a little bit here.
You probably will.
I didn't think any of this was funny whatsoever.
I didn't think it was funny.
A lot of people,
I think the commentary makes it funny.
The commentary
not watching
makes
it, but like
funny.
the lady on the boat,
violence does
the way
not make
she's
it funny.
talking is hilarious.
It's funny.
Is
And
that
the
part is
girl on
funny.
the stairs, she did an amazing job
Nah,
commenting.
you
on
gotta
this.
see this video on Twitter. It's got like 7 million.
And then they have a
views.
reenactment
This dude
of it
is
Yeah.
that
talking
people are
you through
laughing
all
about
of
it.
Yeah.
I think that's why people are laughing at it. I think certain people are hyped about it is because, and you're probably gonna touch on this a little bit in a few minutes, is because people feel like this is the first time they've seen black people come together on a situation like this.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's not protesting, it's not, it's like, okay, we fighting evil for evil,
So
I guess.
let's say we're black. I get it. What about the Christian part of it? What part of it do you think was A-okay or not okay?
I think you kind of brought it to light in our call. I think homie coming down, the first guy that came down to help him, he didn't start swinging on other people. He just started pushing them off of him.
Yeah.
So I think you're correct on when you were talking about that on the call. Like
Because
how he
when
came
we
down
say,
and
because a lot of this is framed as we're coming to, help this person, right?
Yeah.
That was some people's story. in
Yeah.
this. What about afterwards?
Now, see, here's the problem. Once it get popping, Sean, it's on and
That's how you
popping.
feel?
And I'm just saying off the video. Once it's popping, it's on and popping. You know that.
I'll tell you.
You ever been at somewhere and like all of a sudden like two people fighting and then like they stop, then all of a sudden you see his boys go, yo, there you go, right there.
Yeah,
It's on and popping.
I'll tell you my emotions watching it. Seeing them jump him, completely unacceptable, infuriating. And I can understand the people on the boat being like, let me wait till we get to, like, you think you tough now, wait till we get off of this boat. And one kid didn't even wait. Like, he jumped in.
Aquaman, see murder.
He jumped in. So
what they call him. See murder.
I understand the young man's impulse to get in there to help him.
Yeah.
That's 100% understand that.
Yeah.
The young man who came down to break it up,
Yeah.
100% understand
But
that.
he got active. See murder got active too.
He did. But but I was as soon as they came off the boat, I was very excited. But then when I saw the actual fighting,
The other stuff.
I was like, oh, now this is sad.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I felt afterwards. It's like now I'm sad. But I'm weird because I'm also the one that, like, when I was growing up, remember the Detroit brawl in the stands?
Oh, Miles in the Palace?
I was I did not like that.
Oh, really?
I was like literally tearing up watching.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't like when people are that angry.
But see, for
this
for
is
me,
different.
for that, that's different. But for me, for that situation was fans shouldn't throw at
they
athletes
shouldn't.
anything.
They
That's
shouldn't.
stupidity.
But when you start seeing just melee,
melee.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not saying I understand all the emotions involved with the people that were doing it, because you see somebody unfairly treated that badly, and then just like an entitlement of chilling. I'm just chilling on my. I don't even care what I just did.
Yeah.
That's infuriating, and I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even so mad initially with the fighting, but I think as it goes on, I'm more mad at what started it.
Yeah.
I'm blaming them for this whole thing.
Oh yeah,
I'm not blaming the guys
sure.
who did stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy, the chair was a little too much.
Was
But I'm not blaming any of the people who retaliated, because the people deserve that.
Yeah.
There's nothing. They deserve to get beat up.
Yeah.
But just the sight of it is just, it makes me.
We
sad.
may have some people on in our universe saying, well, okay, that happened, the fight happened, and it was over, and then all of a sudden the ship landed and more came out, and it's like,
so that's
what do you tell the people that's like that?
Years of trauma coming out.
Okay, I get that, but that's where it changed from defense to revenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's where I'm where, as a Christian, where do you see that? Because a lot of people are like, yes, get him. I mean, young lady was so funny. Boo, boo,
Yeah,
that was really funny. But that's when I started being like, oh, I can't cheer that.
Yeah,
I can't physically cheer that part.
Yeah,
but let me finish with this says. This says that of those 5,000, most of those 5,000 lynchings were sanctioned by federal and state law.
Oh, you think
Government.
he's trying to justify?
No, but what I'm saying is in that moment, everybody was working as an individual. They were working off their own emotions.
I get
there.
it, but is
yes,
it right?
you got other people coming around, but you also have the fact that justice has never been served in this historically in this type of situation.
The question today is:
this time they were letting
is this Christ-like or black-like, and which one you choosing?
To be honest with you, I was thinking about this because I started going back and thinking about like war in the Bible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily believe that. I mean, look at what Peter did for Jesus in the garden.
People going into war purposely to knowing God sending them, going to get killed. You know you about to kill people. And God will say, wipe everybody out, everybody.
Right.
So yeah,
wild.
I thought about that too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and I'll let somebody else have the mic at this point. What I'm saying is, in that moment, you've got emotions of past hurt coming out, and it's not so much revenge. It's I mean, yeah, you may call it revenge. I wouldn't call it revenge because I think revenge would be the ugly part of that. I think what is it?
It's a statement.
Statement. There you go. Perfect.
So you know what made me sad, honestly, when I was seeing it? It was like, okay, yes, I would want to do that too, but now we don't know what's going to happen. So far, they've arrested a lot of the white people that were involved.
Yeah.
But to me, in my head, the only thing I was thinking was, now all these guys got to go to jail. All these dock workers have to lose their job over this. Like, that is sad to me. All of it just feels sad.
But in the heat of emotion, though, logic isn't always the first thought. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's good.
You know, in the heat of emotion, like right now, because it's easy, respectfully, it's easy to say what we would and would not do until it happened to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember before we had kids, and you see the little boy running around the store, and listen, when I had kids, my kids ain't gonna be running around the store.
Yeah.
Now I got a little girl that Lord help us all. You know what I mean? And so it's easy for me to say that until my little girl loops my hand and start running around the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so in that moment, like you said, we talking Christendom, we talking blackdom.
Yeah.
If I had going to Ryan's point, if I had that history, you know what I'm saying, understanding where I live at, everything's going on. What I'm saying now, I'm Mark the fitness preacher and I love Jesus.
I think the thing too is maybe the people there did take that tour
for no reason.
Maybe that people did take that tour, seen all that, and they was turned up by that as well as a trigger. I'm using it as not saying like, because I didn't know everything about that, but I'm just saying like sometimes when you go to those history museum places and you walking and you feeling it and you're like, oh, this is horrible, and something like that, you go outside
here. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah, you still doing it. Yeah,
it's a super duper big how dare you. Like that to me, it's like I would be infuriated. So I imagine myself being the people on the boat. I imagine myself being the kid swimming across. I imagine myself being the person coming to break it down. And I also imagine myself being the person skipping. I imagine myself doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I just think once it started to go crazy, that's where I check out. Like I don't like that.
And I think another conversation we had on our call was that whole conversation. I seen something was like, I seen a post where they were saying like, we can't talk about no more our ancestors. I ain't my ancestors because all those people that were fighting were older people. Yeah. They weren't like when young people was like middle-aged people fighting.
So I do want to talk about that because to me, I keep hearing that, and I think that's super disrespectful. So what I'm hearing is a lot of people saying, "Oh, we ain't our ancestors. This ain't 19 such and such." Yeah. To me, what that implies is that our ancestors were soft.
Yeah, that we was always weak.
Yeah, and it's like, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
That to me is super disrespectful. You're basically saying if you were a slave, you would have been done something different. Yeah. You would not have.
No,
stop with that.
You can barely stand the heat.
You would not have. To me, that's super disrespectful to say anything like, "Oh, this is a new day." No, it's not. You would have been just like that.
And to compare it, I think if people don't understand what we're talking about, it's like that mentality of, when you was growing up and somebody was like, I know you did that to Ryan, but you ain't gonna do that to me. Yeah, and it's almost like I'm playing Ryan. And
Ryan is soft, but I'm not.
I gotta be the example though.
That ain't.
Well, Sean was the example Wednesday night. So
and that wasn't on microphone, but
but I'm just saying, using that as an where people want to know that example, and that just makes our people look bad, like in the past. And I always hated that because I was like, honestly, to me, and I don't care. I always felt like they were more mentally stronger than we were.
Superheroes.
100%.
100%. Like they get water holes on you, German Shepherds, and still keep going and fighting.
You know what I'm actually objecting to that I'm starting to see more and more. I hear, I listen to people like Van Lathan and like there's a bunch of like figureheads that are like, this. I feel like we are sliding more and more from Martin Luther King mindset to a Malcolm mindset in the sense of I don't think Martin Luther King would have been successful today.
Oh yeah,
coming out with nonviolence. We're gonna sit. Here are the rules. You can't do this. They'd be like, what? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think that whole concept of nonviolence, because it came from like a biblical worldview. Yeah. I don't think this world cares about that whatsoever.
I would say the younger generation, our generation, the millennials and younger, is about that turn up life. And I think we're getting fueled by people like you said, the Van Lathans of the world, the Tariq Nasheeds, the Dr. Umars, those type of people that's talking to younger people and telling them, like, not telling them to attack people, but like, yo, on Malcolm X tip, on Black Panther type, not the Black Panther, but the Black Panthers type mindset of like, yo, defend yourself, self-defense. So somebody attack you, fight them back.
So this is my rub, because I'm saying all of that, but when does it become too much to be peaceful? I come from a people in Jamaica called the Maroons, where they went to war with people. They killed people to be free, and eventually they let them chill in the Blue Mountains and just said, all right, fine, you guys stay over there, we stay over here. So I mean, I'm not saying that it's never okay to fight back. I'm just trying to figure out, where does this brawl fit in that? Is this a situation where it's like too far? Eventually, God does say, "Go take that city." Eventually, there is a point where it's like, peace is not the option. Is this the situation?
I think people are just getting tired, man. I think at the end of the day, like that spoken word piece was just the thing we were saying about different people getting hurt by white Americans and nothing happening, and people standing. Because honestly, this is the first time that a bunch of people went on camera. It was like people were taking action more than
imagine if the only thing that was filmed was the guys skipping in the fight, and you never saw what started it. People would never believe that these white people were at fault. They would never believe it. So I'm glad that they got that in 3D in HD IMAX. They got that joint.
So when you said as far as like when is it too far, right? I think we'll actually be able to see based on the after effect. What comes after this, you know what I mean? Because like, what did that do? Not the body of Christ, but as far as like the black people as a whole, because I feel like this is gonna spark something that we're gonna be ready to jump.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm saying like, sometimes you gotta know your battles. You gotta know what battles to take. And I think at the same time though, you do want to be fair of people going, like, if somebody's getting hurt, and I think the difference is between those cases is when you're dealing with the police, you're not trying to fight the police versus a civilian. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if a civilian is like jumping somebody, you like, oh no, we gotta do something. That's a civilian. That's not a police officer.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So I think that's what people's kind of like, like, oh, that's a civilian? Word, let's go. You know what I mean? Versus fighting a cop or like bucking at a cop. You know what I mean?
No, I will say I hope we don't just end up taking it out of context though. And what I mean is like you walking down the street, somebody look at you sideways, now you want to pick up a chair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know,
and that's what we've been seeing.
And that's
recently.
what we've been seeing.
Yeah, after
you know what I'm
that
saying?
situation, you've seen videos of people hitting people with chairs. Black
Just
people,
being,
white people.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how we do. We have respectfully, we have a tendency to keep stuff going too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we're not careful, we'll just be out here picking battles that ain't really supposed to be battles.
Yeah.
That's
Just
right.
off the strength of keeping something going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Usually it's the comedy that keeps going. But there was a clip where Malcolm X was doing an interview. Somebody put this on Twitter the other day, and I watched it, and it basically described this exact situation.
I saw that.
He said there's going to be a day when black people are going to see another one of their own being mistreated, and they're going to join in unison, and they're going to stop it. If the law doesn't stop it and protect them, they will become the law and the protectors.
Yeah.
for sure.
But here's another part, and I don't think people always been talking about it. There was another dock worker who was white that tried to help the dude, and they pushed him off. Did y'all see that part?
I've seen every angle of this.
It was a dude with a it was a dude with a vest.
Oh yeah. But
He looked like he was a white cat. He was at a vest, and he was trying to stop them, and they punched him, or pushed him off of everybody.
But he ended up. So here's a situation of a brawl. When you get into a brawl, you don't necessarily know who's innocent and who's not.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get hands thrown on you. You know what I'm saying? That's
I'm just saying he was trying to help I guess his coworker. Yeah. So it was like all of a sudden.
But they didn't. It's too much action going on. It's
Okay,
too much
okay,
action.
bro,
No, I'm saying. It's too much action going on for you to know who's good and who's bad.
Okay.
The same way with the gentleman who came down the ramp the first time.
Yeah.
He was trying to break things up. He was holding people
Yeah,
back.
he was.
And
And
then he got
swung
punched.
he got swung
And
on.
then he started acting up.
He got active. I mean, it's real.
So,
but
yeah.
I think the thing of this whole situation was at first when you start looking at it, it's hilarious. But then as time wear off of it, it's like, oh, this is kind of sad.
Yeah.
This does look kind of. It looked kind of bad. Not bad on us, but it just looked bad to
Just
see
the whole
people
thing
fight.
is bad.
It's
Just
sad from the beginning,
people.
Jeremiah. It's just the way people respond to it and the memes is like just.
Oh yeah.
what gets
You know, we
going.
take stuff.
I say, it's that keeping it
laugh.
going stuff.
We laugh at our pain. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying?
laugh for sure.
You don't want to cry or people don't want to cry and stuff
So
like that.
let's go through it with the time we have left, and I just want to point out the things that I can't play like the chair part and all that kind of stuff. But let's just see what we
Hold on,
can
let me
see.
sync up with you and make sure mine's running when yours is running.
All right, so I'll show y'all. Hold on a second. So we saw the hat flip. That's what that's when everything got started. He got jumped. I wanted to point out this guy right here. To me, this is the role of the Christian in this situation. This guy right here. Pay attention to him.
Break it up.
He comes in, and initially the guys that were jumping him started fighting him because they think he's coming in to throw hands. He comes in, he pushes them off of him, and he basically rescues him. That's what everybody is claiming everybody was doing. He actually did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He actually
right.
came in to save the dude. And to me, honestly, if he came in swinging, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because you're going to defend him.
Yeah.
Right. That's 100% to me justified.
Yeah.
The kid swimming, same emotion to me. You can see him in a second. He came to defend. I believe he came to defend. So 100% justified. I get that. Later on, maybe not. Then from this angle, them skipping over, I understand this emotion. I definitely may have been skipping.
Skip to my Lou.
I definitely may have been skipping. But to me, everything after this is where it started getting a little shaky for me. The chair, the multiple things, going on at the same
The
time.
sisters came through too. They were beating the crap out of that
They
woman.
went crazy.
They were.
So
Nah, they went in.
So yeah, I mean, y'all let me know. Am I crazy? for being sad and not.
No, I mean it's a sad situation, you know. But I mean, like you said, we make things funny, and when we see things happening where we're like justice is being served right before your eyes, you have a hard time feeling two emotions at one time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
now y'all know some people who gonna check this video out are gonna be like, see that white Bible.
No.
The white Bible got them black minds.
No, so and when I'm watching the video too, like I'm watching, you know, the different things. That one person you talked about in the vest, he got punched by one of the white men.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? I talked about.
Yeah. He got punched by one of the white men, so he kind of exited himself at that point.
He
took a hit to the face.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Cannot fix that stupid light.
Yeah, and for me, it's like
I can't get it working.
It's like I saw the police. Like there's a couple of places if you pause the video or if you slow the video down, the police got their hands on their hip.
Oh
like,
yeah,
just letting this go.
Yeah,
just letting this go.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I heard one commentator say that majority of the police that showed up were black.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and they
Yeah.
kind of was like slow. Like as soon as
they were
it was
watching
like,
up top.
they let
Yeah.
the chair swing happen, and then they were like, okay, let's get involved.
They really kind of got involved when she was on the ground. She was on the
was on the
ground,
ground.
and then
but they pushed her to the ground too.
They did.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I want to inject that into the conversation. See how I'm sure people are gonna agree with some of what I'm saying, but I do think most people, 99%, are gonna be like, "You're crazy. This is 100% from beginning to end justified."
Well, I see what
people
you're
using
saying, though.
Yeah, right.
I see what you're saying. I mean, you're saying when is enough, right? When does it? I see what you're saying. Like, when does it go from defense and looking out for somebody to just let's just get to it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I said, and quite frankly, I'm kind of in the middle. Because again, if I was there, how would I have reacted? If I was in the moment, you know what I'm saying, how would I have reacted? Would it be old boy or would it be the preacher? You know what I'm saying?
That's like 5% of what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to blame any of the people that were involved. I'm just saying the sight of the melee made me sad. It did not make me laugh.
Just in general.
And I'm just confused as to everybody like laughing and joking about it and you know, cheering it. I didn't feel any of those emotions. I knew it's like, okay, this clearly had to happen, but it made me sad. It didn't make me happy. That's where I'm
Well, I'll say this. In the words of Toby, try Jesus. Don't try me, because I'll throw hands. That's what he said. And that was the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I think people gotta understand, like, you gotta embrace authority regardless of what color they are.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that man is telling you move their boat because you're in a legal parking spot because we got things going, you need to move your boat.
Yeah, for sure.
A whole ferry.
So you just like, no, and then because you don't want to move, you attack them.
Right.
That's crazy to think about.
Here's the only thing that I do think it was necessary for the brawl to happen, because I am not sure the white individuals that jumped the man would have gotten arrested without the brawl happening.
Yeah.
I think they would have got away with it.
Yeah. They probably did something and got on their boat and dipped.
Yeah, I do think ultimately it happened. You know, it happened. It needed to happen because that was what drew attention to them needing to get arrested. So I'm glad that the only thing that had to happen in this is they needed to get arrested.
Yeah,
100%.
It started it. It was started it. Regardless if anybody out there talking about, well, he shouldn't have hit their boat because he did try to push their boat.
I don't care if he kicked their boat. I don't care if he put a hole in their boat.
200 people that were sitting on a boat that couldn't get into the port.
Move your boats.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't care what happened to the boat.
Fact.
Get out the way.
Yeah.
All right, you in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Black Panther Trackstarz.